It's so nice to meet you after watching all your videos over and over again.
Nice to meet you too, Steve. Thank
I
you for having me.
I became a fan a little while back, and then I saw Mike had sent me an email, your publicist, and I'm like, I got to get her on the show, and it was like, bingo. Um,
Yay.
Before we go through your history, which is really interesting, I know you just played Warped Tour in Long Beach, and there's only three of them, so that must have been an honor. Can you talk about that experience and what it was like?
Oh my God, yes. That experience was such a dream come true, a little mind-blowing, pretty overwhelming. Um, it was one of those things that I worked so hard to get there that when I was finally there, it didn't really hit me until we left. I think there's one moment that someone captured that I put up on Instagram where you can kind of see me realize what's happening. And there's like this instrumental break, and I'm just like looking out into the crowd, and I think I lip like, oh my God, or something. Like it like hit me on like song three, and I was like, holy shit. But no, it was great. Everyone at Warped Tour was like so kind and nice and supportive, and Insomniac was great. They golf carted us around. We had these like all the dressing rooms were like little mini trailers in this whole like artist lounge, Steve. It was so crazy. Like we're getting ready to, we got the call that the golf cart was there to take us to stage to play. So we're like, all right, get ready to go. And as we're walking out of the dressing room, Tony Hawk just skates by. He's just
Wow.
doing his thing, skating around. We were like, what's up? What the fuck? What the fuck? And just like seeing all these bands and artists that we listen to that we're next to in
Yeah.
these dressing room trailers, and they're like, all right, everybody, like get in line for your free pair of Vans. So we're like, okay, so we go get Vans. And Corn had this whole like dog um accessory tent. It's called Freak on a Leash. So it was like the dudes from Corn have these like spike like dog chains, these like bandanas and like leather jackets for dogs. It was like it was a trip. I think Jeffree Star had makeup, and the food was great. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. It still feels like a fucking fever dream, but it was absolutely incredible, truly.
That was a great review. Did you did you play Saturday or Sunday?
We played Saturday on the Pike stage at 2:30.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
I was out there on the West Coast, right near there in San Pedro in October for the NoFX thing, and the Dropkick Murphys played, and I know those guys, and I got into that show. And while I was out there, people were talking about Long Beach, and I'm like, wow, can I possibly get back there for that? Because I'm not going to go to Orlando. I'm not a big Florida fan, but, and I forget where the third one was, but, or it happened, or did that happen, the third one?
So Father's Day weekend, it was in DC, I believe.
DC. I should have went to
Mhm.
DC.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. I'm glad that you had a experience. Was it hard to get on for you guys?
The bill?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it was really hard to get on. It was one of those things that was like I had been dreaming of, me and these boys have been playing music together for 15 years. We grew up going to Warped Tours together. I'm very loyal, family based, community based. Like I like to keep my circle small. I like to keep it family, community, neighbors. Like I like that shit. So we had been, when we found out it was coming back, I wrote that shit on my mirror. I said, MEGG at Warped Tour 2025. This was in like September. And then I started just making videos and posting them and telling people to tag Kevin. And then like that didn't really work. And then I made a video and sent it out to everybody I knew who I thought might have a connection to him and be like, hey, if you know this guy, I'm trying to get on this bill. Just like scrappy, no shame shit. I was like, I'm getting on that fucking bill. I don't care how like annoying I come off. I'm getting on that fucking bill. And so that didn't work. So then kind of just went through like my little black book of people that I had met over the years, and I was like, you know what? I've never really asked my, so I went to USC in the Thornton School of
Mhm.
Music, studied popular music performance, and we were the first year ever of the program. So I called the head of the program. He seems to know everyone. And I'm not big on asking for help. I have a really hard time with that. I have a hard time calling on people that have been like, hey, if you ever need this, let me know. I don't know. There's like something in my brain that has a hard time asking for help. But I was like, I've never pulled that card with this man before. I've never asked him for anything. I've never pulled that card. So I was like, this is the time. So I called Chris Sampson, the head of that program, and I was like, do you know Kevin Lyman by any chance? Like, everyone. And he was like, actually, yeah, I've met him a couple
Ooh.
times. And I was like, how do I talk to him? Like, this is the only thing I've ever asked of you. He's like, no, dude. He's like, you're a perfect fit for the bill. You can reference my name. Here's his email. I was like, okay. So I emailed him and asked him for 15 minutes of his time to chat. He called me right away. We talked for like 45 minutes, almost none about music until like the very end. It's just like a vibe check in the beginning. We talked about like golf and who he golfs with, and I don't know shit about golf. So I was just like, yeah, sick, sick. And then we talked about like the festival, why he stopped it, why he's bringing it back. Um, we talked about the South Bay, who we know, mutual friends. And then at the very end, he was like, so why do you want to play? I was like, I think that I'm a perfect fit for the bill. I've been doing this genre of music for years. I've been at this for years. Our live show is fucking insane. And like, I'd love an opportunity to like prove that to you. He's like, okay, great. Let me know when you're playing. So I sent him like all the 5 shows I was playing that month. And I think he came to one. I don't know. I like followed up after every show and before every show, sent him a compilation video after in case he missed it. I was really like fucking on his ass about it. He didn't really ever reply. So I was like, I don't know. And then 2 months later in December, I got the contract email and that was that.
Perseverance, man. I could
Yeah.
tell that perseverance is a name that a description of you, I bet that's been used a lot. I could see that. And all the videos and everything you've done and everything you do. Okay, let's go all the way back. You grew
Okay.
up in the South Bay. I love the
Yeah.
South Bay. Where? Hermosa?
Redondo Beach.
Redondo Beach. I go out there every year, twice a year. My friends live in Torrance. I stay in Torrance. I walk on the Strand because
Mm.
I lived in the South Bay for a long time. In fact, um, when I wanted to work in the record industry, and I got a job at Enigma Records, which was in Torrance, in
Oh yeah.
1984. And then I moved out there at the end of 83, and I loved it there. Were you aware of labels like SST and Enigma and the bands and the history of Hermosa Beach, Circle Jerks, Black Flag, and all that? Were you aware of all that while you're growing up? Because I know you're younger.
Oh yeah. Pennywise used to play in my neighbor's backyard. So it was like that. I have 4 brothers. So that was all of the music that I grew up listening to. Obviously, I wasn't old enough to go to the shows, but that growing up in that environment and in that community definitely has shaped the music that I make today. I used to do musical theater since I was like 5 up until college. And then I'm classically trained as well, but I grew up listening to all this heavy shit. So the music is really inspired by that. It's got that theatrical flair. I can wail on these songs, but then the production and the music is really punk inspired in terms of guitar riffs and production and what we do with the instruments. So, yeah, I was definitely aware of what was going on.
Who were some of your earliest musical influences? It just doesn't have to just be Southern California in general.
Oh man. So my personal musical influence was my biggest favorite growing up as a kid was Britney Spears, Sublime, Rancid, Descendants, Paramore, No Doubt. I loved the Spice Girls. We listened to a lot of Linkin Park growing up. My parents played a lot of AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, a lot of Joe Cocker. And then obviously Black Flag. Um, I mean, God, I had all of this like punk from one brother, all of this metal, like we were listening to like Static X and Disturbed and Corn and all that, System of a Down. so one brother was super punk influenced, one was super like heavy metal hardcore every time I die, and then one was really like gangster rap, 50 Cent, like G Unit, Dre, and then I was listening to like Britney Spears and Spice Girls and Taking Back Sunday and Sum 41 and Blink 182 and Green Day. So it was like while being in musical theater. So I
Wow.
was really listening to a lot of shit. And meanwhile, my parents got me a karaoke machine when I was like 10, and I was singing Whitney Houston shit. So I was like really musically like all over the board.
That's incredible. You named a lot of people there. That's good.
Yeah.
Do you have an ultimate favorite? Was Brittany your absolute favorite because you named her first?
Oh man, I think as a kid, Brittany really lit that fire for me. Like I saw her in middle school. That was like one of the first live shows I saw. Obviously, it was like an arena tour, which, definitely now as an adult prefer the more intimate kind of like shitty
Hmm.
dive bar. But then as a kid, you're sitting there and you're watching this girl on stage just like dance and perform, and you couldn't take your eyes off her. And there was something so magical about that. So I think she was kind of the artist that really lit that fire in me to be like, yeah, I want to do this. I didn't know that my sound would never be in that vein, but she turned that light switch on for me for sure.
And you mentioned, I believe, Hayley Williams and people like that. Were they influential on you as far as your style goes on stage and all?
Yes, when I first heard Paramore, that something clicked because I was listening to all these punk bands, these like ska, reggae, but it was all dudes, right? So
Yeah.
like then I heard Paramore and I was like, oh shit. Like it made sense to me now. I saw this female fronted rock band, someone that I could relate to. She can sing her ass off, but she could also slam around and kick it with the guys and write songs that were heavier. So that was a big influence for me in my songwriting for sure. Um, Also the entire like Warped Tour scene. I grew up going to that. So, Sum 41, Taking Back Sunday, Every Time I Die, was really into the Offspring growing up as well. Just that kind of like degaff, bratty, I'm gonna say whatever I want to say type shit. I also loved Limp Bizkit growing up. Like it's just all that shit, you know?
Wow. You're very diverse. You
Yeah.
you mentioned you were classically trained and you did music theater. Has that helped shape your sound at all? And if it has, can you elaborate on that a little bit?
I used to think no, but I looking back now at my career and the music that I started making now, I absolutely think being in musical theater has shaped my sound. I think projection for sure. I think being classically trained and doing musical theater and performing on stage since I was 5, I'm so loud and comfortable on stage, and I just have that stamina because I grew up dancing and singing and, doing all that shit, So for the live show, I think it's played a massive role. In
Did
the
you do
writing,
any
I
other?
think,
I'm sorry. Did you do any acting too when you were growing up?
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Besides
I
the theater?
Yeah, I was in acting classes and auditioning for commercials and shit. At one point, I was signed to Abrams Artists. Um, I was, my parents knew at such a young age that I was an entertainer. There was no question about that. I would walk up to the live bands that were playing at restaurants we would go to as a toddler, and I would just get on stage and dance with them. I would like spin and spin. I never wanted to go to bed. I was a little party girl. I would just like drop where I was and like sleep on the ground. I loved being around people, being in front of the camera, being on stage. So yeah, I acted, I danced, I sang, I tried sports. It didn't go so well, shocker. But yeah, I think the musical theater, like I think my songs do have a theatrical edge to them for sure.
Like you said, you've been with the same guys for a long time. Was there anything before that? Or was it these guys all along?
I was actually in a pop girl group in high school, very Spice Girl inspired. My mom was in the clothing manufacturing business. She had an idea of starting a girl group who each girl had their own line, their own clothing line.
Wow.
She's brilliant. She went from like soup can pour, working at Dunkin' Donuts at 12 every day before school, Taco Bell, managing Taco Bell, Judy's, Goldblum's, worked her way up to owning her own business. Like, talk about being a scrappy bitch. Like, my mom is such a hard worker. So she had this idea. She talked to some other friends, and a producer that one of our friends' dads was like, yeah, this is a great idea. Let's put this together. So it was me and two other girls, and we each had our own clothing line based on our style of music. So obviously I was like the rock
That's
girl,
cool.
right?
Is your mom from California or is she from somewhere else?
My mom's from Indiana and then spent most
Wow.
of her time in Arizona.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. It's great to have a parent like that that supports your art and everything.
She grew up without that support. And that was one thing that as a kid, she was like, when I'm a mom, I'm going to support whatever my kids decide, like whatever their dreams are. And my grandma wasn't able to support her because they were divorced and she had to work three jobs. I mean, they were just fucking poor. Like, she couldn't go watch her dance recital. She had to go to her second job. So that was something that my mom and dad, when they got married, were really adamant about, was like supporting their kids' dreams. And I'm so lucky for that because I know that that's not common.
What about your dad? Is he from California?
My dad was born in North Dakota and he moved to Arizona, and that's where they met.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so you had the girl group. Was there anything after that?
Yes. So the girl group, we realized that wasn't what we wanted. I wanted to go to college. The other girl wanted to move into Christian music, and the other girl was like a big star on Nickelodeon. So she's like, I'm going to keep acting. So that dissolved, and then I went to college and met um, Will Baldacci, Hunter Porter, AJ Peacocks, and Rob Nagelhout, my closest friends in college, and we started a pop punk band called Party for One. And that was very like Blink 182, No Doubt, with like a little bit of like breakdown and screamo bits. It was very fun. We played at like all the college parties, all the house parties, played all around Hermosa, the studio, St. Roch, Hennessy's, Patty Malloy's, standing room. Like, we did all that fucking run. And then that band broke up because a couple of the guys kind of wanted to do their own thing and test their own music and be their own frontman. So then that's when like Meg, the solo project, really kind of started to be like its own thing. But it's the same guys. Like,
That's
Will Baldacci
great.
no longer, but now we kind of like rotate between our friend group. So it's like Rob Nagelhout, AJ Peacocks, Hunter Porter, Sebastian Bentley, Logan Shrewsbury.
Those are
Um,
great names, by the way.
right? They're great dudes too. So I'm a lucky girl.
Uh, I'm gonna jump around a little bit here. You said in an interview that you like, I really love this. You said in an interview that you like to make art and let it go. Otherwise, you obsess and overthink about it. I can really relate to that. Talk about that feeling.
Oh man, it's just fucking annoying. It's annoying to write something, overanalyze it, pick it apart. Now you don't fucking like it. So you're like, I'm not going to release it. And then a couple years later, I would go back and listen to demos and be like, this is sick. Why didn't I put this out? And that feeling was worse, I found, than the feeling of like, this isn't good enough, blah, blah. So I was just last year, I was like, I'm just going to make a song, write it, and then let it go and just like release it. It's no longer mine. Let the people decide what they like.
I love
And
that
through that,
attitude. Love it.
yeah, 'cause,
Love
like,
it.
we want to hear music from the artists that we like constantly. And because I haven't put out a full length album yet, I really want to take my time with that. Because I haven't done that, I feel like I owe it to the people on this train, on the Meg train, following along, to like give them shit to listen to, right? And through that process, I feel like it really helped me understand the trajectory of where I'm going for the full length album. You know what I mean? I started
Yeah.
to like gravitate more towards certain songs and less from other ones, and see which ones do well live, see which ones people respond to. So it was a really fun experiment. I learned a lot about myself, good and bad, but yeah, it was fun. It was kind of
I,
like,
I'm enjoying the ride on the Meg train, and I like all the singles and everything because you put a bunch of singles out. We'll get to that in a second. What's the songwriting process for the band?
Um, it changes. It depends. I would say most of the time it's me going into the studio with Rob Nagelhout. He plays bass in my band. He's my best friend, and he does all pretty much all the production for my stuff. And we'll go in, and it's either I have a concept or a chorus, lyrics, and melody idea, or I'll be like, hey, I've been really fucking into Offspring all over again. Can we like do something Offspring inspired? Or Rob will be like, I have this riff. Do you fuck with it? Do you want to write on it? Or we'll call on our buddy AJ Peacocks, or we'll do, writes with other people. But it's very collaborative. I really like to pull in, one to two to three people and kind of see where everyone's at and make a little baby between the group. Um, Sometimes Rob will write a whole fucking song and I'll top line over it, like Straight Jacket, for example. He wrote from top to bottom, played me the instrumental. We got hammered, went out in Hermosa, came back at like 2 p.m. And I just wrote the lyrics and melody and we tracked it that night. And that was just kind of like was what it was. That was kind of like a freak
Wait a minute,
story.
you went out and you got home at 2 p.m.?
AM.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
that's a long party.
Not quite
So
that long.
do you write on a guitar or piano or
No. Mm-mm. I'll write lyrics and melody a cappella in my phone, or we go to the studio and either AJ Peacocks is on guitar and he's writing all the guitar stuff, or Rob's writing all the guitar stuff. Um, and then I'll come up with like the lyrics and the melody, or like, I'll be like, hey, I don't like that chord. Can we switch it to minor? Or like, let's go to the A instead of the G or whatever. But Sebastian is trying to teach me guitar, and I'm having a hard time practicing. So no, I don't write on the guitar by
I
myself.
find it fascinating. You're not the first person that's told me that you can write a song in your head and go into the studio and tell the people what you want and it works. Especially with these songs, you know. I wrote a list of a bunch of songs that I like. I don't care, obviously. I'm sure everyone likes that. Hitting Nicotine, I Feel Good, The End. What I love about you is the way you write these songs and then you create these amazing videos to go. I wish everyone did that. Everyone doesn't, but you do it. Do you already know? Sorry, I'm losing my headset. Do you already know what you're going to do with a video after you write the song? Do you have it all in your head? Because you have a lot of control over your videos, also, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't have any label or any management or anything. So it's very vision forward. And thank you for saying that. That really is cool to hear because I like to think of myself as not only just like a musical artist, but also like a very visual artist. I have very clear ideas of what I want to see and what I want to hear. And I'm lucky that the people around me are so talented that they know we just have that synergy, right? So the idea for the videos usually comes when I'm writing the song. When I'm writing the song with AJ and Rob or just with Rob or whoever, I can see the visual in my brain. It's a
Hmm.
very interesting thing. So then I'll go to whoever is, shooting the video, either Madison Hedgecock or Esteban Del Rio. Like Rio Noir is the one who did the I Don't Care music video.
Brilliant video.
Or he's a brilliant, brilliant artist.
Now,
He
who
also
are these guys?
These are friends, man. These are fucking
Did you go
friends.
to school with them at USC?
I went to USC with all the musicians in my band. Yes.
Huh.
Madison, who I work with a lot, Hedgecock Photography, him and I grew up down the street from each other. He's a Redondo Beach kid as well. I've known him since fucking fifth, fourth grade, third grade, first grade. And then Esteban, I met through my best friend Zoe. Her best friend is Chelsea, and that's her husband. But he works with like Anthony Ramos and all kinds of dope artists. He's just like a friend as well. Just like I'm so lucky to be surrounded by these like, insanely talented people. It's a trip.
You have a whole community in your in the Meg world. It's great. I have to ask you this. What part of Redondo did you grow up in?
On Avenue C, you know where Fanny's is at?
Yes.
I grew up the street from Fanny's.
Yeah, I love Redondo. I,
I
I
did too.
I start at the beginning of Redondo and walk all the way to Manhattan and back when I'm out there, and I just love it. It's just
Oh, it's
great.
the
The
best.
Esplanade too. I really like the Esplanade. Do you
It's the
remember a
best.
place? Because I know it's not there anymore, called Poncho and Wong's.
Poncho and
Yeah,
Wong's
do you remember that? It was right over near the what is the hotel that was on the rocks down there?
on the rocks.
Oh God, I can't believe I didn't
Remember
write
the
this
Chart
down.
House
Oh yeah, I know the Chart House. Yeah, I guess it
in
was near the
that
Chart
area?
House. Yeah, there was a restaurant called Pancho and Wong's. It was Mexican and Chinese in the same restaurant.
What?
Yeah. I bet you if you ask someone older in your family, they'll remember it. I was down there when I was out there and I was like, "Where's Pancho and Wong?" Portofino Inn was the place I was
Oh, yes. Yes. The
right near the
Portofino.
Portofino Inn, right over there.
Yes. Yes.
I lived on Broadway and Burl for a while. You know that?
No shit.
I did.
Oh, what
Broadway
a
and Burl.
beautiful place to live.
Yeah. It was kind of the apartment building was a bunch of young people on drugs and shit, including
Yeah.
myself. But, we were close to the pier and other, Redondo Pier and Hermosa and everything was great. I'm sorry, I can't not talk about Southern California from with someone that grew up there like
Steve,
you.
we could literally talk about the South Bay for, I will never get sick of talking about the South Bay. It is the greatest place on earth, and I will die on that fucking hill.
But you're in Tennessee now. We'll get to that too, because I'm wondering.
Yes.
That's an interesting change. Okay, I don't care because I don't want to slip by IDC as they call it.
Yes.
Although the lyrics do speak for themselves, what was the inspiration when you wrote the song? And now you're very involved in the videos. Did you come up with that concept for that video?
For the video?
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
Brilliant.
So I came up with I wanted it to be in a school. It was actually a pain in the fucking ass to make this happen. And because we couldn't find a school to shoot at. It was like 2 million insurance policy, or you can't work at this school because the song doesn't align with our values, or can't work at this school because the archdiocese of whatever the fuck. So finally found a studio that they made to look like a classroom. So we walked in and it was all set up like that. Thank God. But yeah, I had this concept. I wanted it to be really nostalgic of like movies and shows like The Sandlot, 10 Things I Hate About You, Grease, those types of movies.
Yeah.
So the concept was there. And then Rio put his flair in there and came up with some of his own ideas. And we just kind of like put that thing together.
Yeah, if you're listening or watching or whatever right now, you got to go check this video out. It's really good. Hitting Nicotine also. Fab video.
Thank you. Thank you. I did that with Mo McFadden. She is a brilliant artist in Los Angeles. Brilliant artist. And then my best friend did the makeup, that like, fake black eye, bloody nose thing. Um, I think, was that her first music? I don't know if that was her first music video, but yeah, she's great too. Another friend.
See, I am old school and I do like the whole albums and that whole, that's for year. I've got a million records, whatever. But your approach is a smart approach. You're doing like, you're making every song with a video really stand out. Was that your plan from day one?
Not really. I feel like I've been kind of making it up as I go. I don't know really what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just trying to make things that feel like me and make stuff that I like. I really like making shit. I love creating. I love the whole process. It's just really fun, and getting to do it with my friends is really fucking fun. So I didn't really have this plan of doing that. It was more so I had all these songs that I didn't really know what to do with. And I had these music video ideas and friends that were down to make it happen with me. And so it just kind of worked out that way. Um, Especially because I too love a full length album. I am a purist in that way, but financially, it's just not something I'm able to spin right now. So I was like, in the meantime, while I save up money to make this album. What can I afford? What can I do? What's in my power to do? And so putting out singles and making music videos with my friends was realistic for me. And so that's what we did.
I love it. And you're working on a shoestring budget too on these
Oh my
videos,
God.
right?
Yes. Lots of credit cards, lots of credit cards. Lots of waiting tables, lots of side jobs, lots of anything that I can do to get on stage and make money. I teach voice and piano lessons on the side as well. Um, yeah, yeah.
So,
Shoestring budget.
so I was a little bit surprised when I heard you moved to Franklin, Tennessee. Is that where I saw that you lived? Franklin or
Nashville.
Nashville? Okay,
Mhm.
so is it for the music reason that you moved to Nashville?
Yeah, so it's a little bit of a couple things. The publishing company that I'm signed to is based out in Nashville.
Oh, you have a
So
publishing deal. Okay.
yes. So I've been coming out to Nashville like 5 times a year for the past like 4 years. So it was kind of just like, all right, I'm back and forth, I'm back and forth. And then my boyfriend got an opportunity to tattoo at a crazy shop out here. And so it was kind of like, all right, do I stay in the South Bay or do I move out there and try something new, expand the brand, expand the community, get out of my comfort zone? And my mom, obviously she's lived all over. She was like, you have to get out of your hometown at some point in your life.
Yeah.
Like you can always come back. This will always be who you are. Your roots are here. She's like, but it's going to make you a better writer. It's going to make you a better performer. It's going to make you a better person to like shake it up a bit. So that's what we did. And honestly, Steev, I was feeling kind of stuck in the LA scene a little bit. It was like,
It's a big scene.
it's a big scene, and it's just like, I think it was time for me to go out and play in other cities, go out and network with other people, write with new writers, kind of just like expand the brand a bit. And so since I've moved, I've been back to the South Bay once a month. So I kind of feel like I'm living this like double life of here
Yeah.
and there. But musically, man, like it's a different breed out here. I feel like we've been here now for, 7 months. And I feel like it's made me a better writer. It's made me a better performer. I mean, the musicianship out here is just fucking crazy. And there is a little budding punk rock scene. So it's really cool to be a part of a scene that's still growing. Um, yeah, it's kind of been my good luck charm, to be honest. I'm still South Bay to the motherfucking core, but I think this move was a good thing for where I'm at right now.
And now you got Taylor Swift and Phoebe Bridgers and Hayley Williams. They're all down there in
I
Nashville, right? Yeah.
know.
It's a
I
cool scene.
know.
I know a lot of rock people that moved down there too. It's not the country place that people thought it was anymore. Um, okay, I got this quote. I found you have such great quote. This is kind of a long one, but I have to read it because I want to hear what you have to say about this. I've always felt like a fraud whenever I lean into my femininity. Femininity. If I can read it, I'll read it. How's that? I don't know why, but I have being masculine and one of the dudes has been always been easy for me, has been my comfort zone for so long that lately the people around me have helped me embrace my softer side. It's not fraudulent to learn in any or all parts of yourself. I guess I'm starting to learn that. And with that, thank you for capturing me in this light and for instantly pushing me to a more vulnerable place in my art. Are you talking about like growing up as a tomboy and then changing your whole vibe with the outside world? Because you said you had four brothers.
Mhm. Yeah, I think having that kind of masculine energy around all the time and just growing up being in the rough and the tough and the bustle, especially in the South Bay, right? It's like it's very well, it was very scrappy back in the day. You had to like fend for yourself and the people that I ran with, it was just scrappy. And so I think growing up and becoming more feminine and having curves and becoming more womanly the older that I'm getting, it was difficult for me to kind of lean into that like sexier, more feminine, more woman centered um vibe. And I think I always saw that as like very vulnerable. Like when I'm a tomboy or masculine, more masculine forward presenting, it kind of is like a wall. It's like, don't fuck with me, like that whole vibe. But there is a very sensitive, soft, feminine side to me that I don't know why has always been really hard for me to like let my guard down and show. I think especially in music. Um, I don't know if it's because this genre is very masculine dominant. So it's kind of like I have to prove myself that I can hang with the boys. And as soon as I show that like any sign of vulnerability or femininity, that it's like regarded as like a negative or a weakness. Um, I don't know. I don't know, but I think now I'm starting to really cherish that side of me and lean into that a little bit more. I would love to one day feel comfortable to wear like a dress on stage, but right now I just don't want to. Like, I like to be able to move around and be in baggy jeans or little short shorts with socks and bands. Like, I don't know why that's, I don't know why that's always been so hard for me. I think I'm enjoying it now. Definitely like putting on dresses, going out to dinner or, doing my hair or something, but I'm just more comfortable with my hair in a bun, no makeup on, and like t-shirt and jeans. I don't know.
Is it fair to say like Gwen Stefani-ish, like from her early days? Because she was kind of like a tomboy and then she kind of changed? Or
I
is that an
think
unfair comparison?
I think that's a perfect comparison. I think
Perfect.
that's a perfect comparison. It's like because I'm constantly around guys, it just is like it's just natural. And I bet she dealt with that too, where it's like, no, like I can hang, like I'm cool, like I'm scrappy, I can get down, all this, especially like touring and stuff. It's like there's no time to like have this 12-step routine. There's hardly time for a shower. You're waking up, you're going and wearing the same clothes. Um, yeah, I would say that's also someone that is a huge influence to me was Gwen Stefani back in the day in her No Doubt era for sure. So yeah, I don't know. I'm still learning how to embrace that more feminine, womanly, vulnerable side of me. If you're in my circle, you know it. If you're close to me, you know it. But it's definitely more comfortable for me to just be like, yeah, fuck you, you know?
Can I just say I love your energy and vibe? I really do. You've got a great vibe. I was really surprised that you sang the national anthem at a Dodgers game. I even watched the video of it. I assume you must be a Dodgers fan and a baseball fan. Is that why you did that?
Um, I don't really, I feel like I'm gonna get so much hate for this. I don't really care about sports. Like, that's the truth.
How
It
did
was,
that happen?
I love to fucking sing the national anthem. I
You
love
do?
it. I love to sing it. Oh my God, Stevie, yes. I grew up singing it. Like, we'd always have this 4th of July block party on my street. And I've been singing the national anthem on the block party since I was like 8 years old. And then in high school, they asked me to sing it at graduation. I sang it for like all the games in college. It's just something that I've always been hired to sing. And when
Oh,
I
so
got
you've
into
done it before
100, I can't even count how many times I've sang the national anthem.
in front of huge crowds like that? Really?
Dodger Stadium was the biggest for sure. And that was like an honor because like I rep for LA. I love LA. But that was my first time going to a Dodger game. So that was really cool. The only thing that I know in about sports is that we are like diehard Raider fans. That's my family is like we are like Raider till we die. So I would love to sing the national anthem at a Raider game. That would be like a bucket list. But yeah, Dodger Stadium was sick. Like getting to sing in that like iconic stadium for that iconic team with all of those people, like that was a fucking trip.
Yeah, you did a
Trip.
good job too. You really
Thank
did.
you.
Um, so where you go? What's next now? What's your plan?
Ooh, what is next? I just signed with a booking agent who I'm so excited to get moving on. So we're trying to get on a tour in November, crossing our fingers for that. I've got a show in Nashville in October and in LA, October 10th at Harvard and Stone in LA, and October 4th at the East Room in Nashville. And then hopefully touring in November, we'll see. And then I'm opening for Tomorrow's Bad Seeds at St. Rock the night before Thanksgiving in Hermosa, which I'm sure you know all about Blackout Wednesday. I can't fucking wait for that show. And then I'm releasing an EP in October as well, I'm so
Is
excited
is
about.
that going to be a physical copy as well?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Like we'll do everything, but it's got The End, Get Over It, IDC, and then three new songs that I'm
Nice.
so excited about. Very Paramore, Fiddler, Offspring coded. I think everyone's gonna fucking love that. And then I've got some shows in the new year. Possibly going to Australia in February for a run, and then I'll start working on the full length album for sure.
I have nothing but like I know you're going. I know you're going all the way. I just
Oh,
know. I just
thank
feel it.
you.
I just feel it.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for taking the time to talk to me. I really appreciate it.
Oh my God, Steve, thank you for having me. It was so much fun.
Awesome. Hold on, because I want to ask you something.
Yes.